You wake up. On the wall by the door, where some homes keep a clock, there are two framed flags. One you half recognize, one you don't. The first is the Stars and Stripes, but with fewer stars than you remember. The second is a different banner entirely, and it's the one that flies over your town. You get up and look out the window. At the end of the street, there's a checkpoint, a border, guards, a flag, a sign that reads, "Now leaving the United States." On the table, your money. Some of it is dollars, some of it is a different currency, for the country on the other side of that line. You carry both because everyone here does. In a drawer by the keys, there's a passport. You need it to visit family 3 hours south. They live in another nation now. Today is the 4th of July. Half the continent is celebrating it. The other half is not. Down here, the big day is a different date entirely. This is still North America, but there is no single United States stretching sea to sea. There are two countries, and you were born on this side of the fence. And all of it comes down to one war that, in our world, kept the country whole, and here, did not. 1861. 11 southern states declare they are leaving the Union over the question of slavery, and form their own government, the Confederate States of America. In our world, the North fights a brutal 4-year war to force them back, and wins. The country is welded back together at a terrible cost. Here, the welding never holds. The war grinds on. The North grows exhausted and divided, and a worn-down Washington finally does the unthinkable. It lets the South go. There is no surrender at a courthouse in Appomattox. There is a treaty. 2 presidents sign it, and the map of America is cut in 2. The United States keeps the North and the West. The Confederate States take the South. One continent, one language, one shared history, and a hard border down the middle. The thing that started the war does not vanish. For decades, slavery remains legal in the Confederacy, a stain its founders built the whole country around. But a slave nation cannot hide from the rest of the world forever. Every other power has abolished it. The Confederacy is shut out, boycotted, and shamed. Under that pressure, economic, diplomatic, and from within, slavery finally dies in the Confederacy in the early 1900s, decades late, and never truly forgiven. And from that single split, the whole story of the continent bends in a different direction. There is no one America rising to span a continent. There are 2 mid-sized powers, side by side, watching each other across a fence that never comes down. Westward expansion becomes a race. Both nations push toward the Pacific, planting rival flags, and the map of the West is carved up between them. Some states you think of as solidly American end up Confederate, or fought over, or split. The shape of the country on your wall map is one you would not recognize. There is no American dream the way you know it, because there is no single America to dream it. There are 2 smaller stories instead, each suspicious of the other. Immigrants still cross the ocean, but now they choose a side, north or south. 2 different countries, 2 different promises, 2 different lives. The cities grow up divided. There is no shared capital for the whole continent. Washington governs one nation. Another capital, deep in the south, governs the other. Power doesn't gather into one strong center. It splits in 2, and the 2 halves spend a century eyeing each other instead of facing the world together. 1914. The world goes to war, but there is no single mighty America to throw onto the scales. There are 2 smaller Americas, and they don't even agree on which side to take. Divided, they tip the balance far less than one united nation ever could. So the wars of the 20th century drag longer and end murkier, without the full, single weight of America landing all at once. The Cold War, when it comes, has a strange 3rd and 4th player. 2 North American states, sometimes allied, sometimes rivals, never quite one fist. No single superpower stares down Moscow alone. The balance of the whole century is wobblier, shared, and far less certain than the one you were taught. And the culture splits too. There is no one American sound that conquers the planet. There are 2, a northern one and a southern one, and they grew up apart. The music you love came, in our world, from the meeting of those 2 halves. Jazz, blues, rock and roll were born where North and South mixed. Here they were kept apart. So that music is different, thinner, or never born at all. The soundtrack of the world is missing the sound that only a whole, mixed America could have made. There is no single Hollywood speaking for all of it. The North has its film capital, the South has another. Two dream factories, telling two different stories. The movies everyone quotes, the songs everyone sings, half of them are from a country that isn't yours, and you grew up never hearing the other half. The money that runs the world is not one almighty dollar. It's a northern dollar and a southern one, two currencies splitting the strength a single America once had. There is no Silicon Valley pulling in the brains of one vast nation. The talent is split between two smaller countries, and the great leap forward comes slower, if it comes. When the thinking machines finally arrive, they're built twice over, in two rival states, each guarding its secrets from the other across that old fence. Even the network that connects the world is cut by the border. Two systems, two sets of rules, watched on both sides of a line that runs through the middle of a continent. By the 21st century, there is no single leader of the free world with one American face, because there are two Americas, and neither one is the whole. The continent that, in your world, became one unstoppable nation is here a pair of wary neighbors who never quite trust the house next door, and the wound never fully closes. 160 years on, the border is still there, the suspicion is still there, and everyone grew up calling the other side them. Power here never united. It stayed split down a line drawn in a war that, in your world, was won, and here was only ended. And now you're back in your room, the two flags by the door, the two kinds of money on the table, the passport you need to see your own grandmother. Now you know why. One war that, in our world, held the country together, and here tore it cleanly into two and let the haves walk away. In our world, the Union won, and everything you call normal, one flag, $1, one America from coast to coast, survived, because that war kept the country whole. So here's the question. How thin was the line? How close did the country you live in come to being two, with a fence and a checkpoint cut right through the middle of it? Tell me in the comments which world you'd rather wake up in tomorrow, and I'll show you the next one.